No surprise, the Liberals are keeping the heat up on the NDP over their differences on the gun registry. This weekend, Michael Ignatieff called on Jack Layton to join with his party in trying to save it. And he joins us from Regina. Mr. Layton, you know, there's no principle more important historically to the NDP than gun control. So I wonder what it says to your progressive agenda and your leadership that you're willing to sacrifice that principle.
Oh, not at all. What we're doing in our party is really what needs to happen in the whole country, and that is to build bridges between urban Canada and rural, northern and Aboriginal Canada on an important issue.
But if the gun registry is scrapped, your party will be, among others, significantly to blame. So you can talk about bridges all you want, but how is that going to look for the NDP?
Well, of course, that's not my goal. And in fact, my goal is to fix the registry so that it can work for everybody. And that's what our caucus is working very hard to accomplish. And we'll be spending time talking about this at our strategy session in the next few days.
But you could support it and then make changes. In other words, you don't have to defeat it and then fix it.
Oh, well, my goal is certainly not to get rid of it. It is to fix it. And I believe that if the other leaders were to take more of a let's try to fix this thing approach instead of the divisive my way or the highway approach that we're seeing from them, I think that would take us a long way. And, you know, I was heartened by some of the police leadership that came out of Ontario in Sudbury, for example, in supporting Glenn Thibault, who has said that he wants to work to fix this registry. And they said that it does need to be fixed, and they appreciate the suggestions that the NDP is bringing forward.
So, Mr. Layton, you're essentially saying we'll fix it by defeating it. Now, there is a logic there that kind of just doesn't work.
Not at all. Please, Craig, I don't know where you're getting that idea. I am absolutely not saying let's fix it by getting rid of it. I'm saying we need the registry. It's an important tool. The RCMP has said so very, very clearly. And what we need to do is to address some of the problems with it. As I said to Mr. Ignatieff in the spring, why don't we make amendments to this along the lines that both of us have suggested? But he said, no, I'd rather wait until we're in government. That's putting off dealing with the situation instead of grappling with it now. And I don't think it's the right approach.
Look, I hope you'll forgive me, but it sounds to me like a lot of convoluted, complex rhetoric simply to cover up the fact that you can't afford to lose rural riding MPs of yours, and therefore you're letting them vote against the best interests of the country as you yourself see it in order to keep them in their jobs.
Not at all. If that were the case, why would we have had members of Parliament like Charlie Angus or Glenn Thibault or Claude Gravel just in the last few days since I reached out with this bridge building solution? They've decided to join with that project. I think that's the kind of positive approach that Canadians want to see.